Hello and welcome to Lisa Horton Crafts. Dawn with you here again today, and today I thought we'd make this lovely little gift box. It's called a flip over gift box, and if I just undo the ribbon you'll see why. Because the top flips over to hide the little gift box. Now I've used a ribbon tie on this one, but today I'm going to do something slightly different, and I'm going to use a belly band. On this particular box I used Lisa Horton Crafts Vintage Garden papers, which are absolutely superb, beautiful quality, and I just think they make this sort of box. I've also cut the flowers, which are the summer blooms from Lisa Horton Crafts, out of the same papers so that it all coordinates. Today, however, what I thought I would do is use the papers from the Festive box kit. So this is the box kit I'm talking about, and I'm using the papers from the middle of the magazine, and I'm also using the POINSETTIA 3D embossing folder, which comes with a die, and I shall be using that to cut out one of the poinsettias and emboss it, and I shall do that 3 times. The other item I'm going to use is this set, the SKETCHY poinsettia stamp set. Now I'm actually only using one of the sentiments today. And then the final thing that I'm using today is the amazing nested stitched bubble squares. I absolutely adore this set. So let's make a start. First off, we're going to need a piece of card which measures 10 by 10. This will form your box. So in order to make the box, I'm going to use my scoreboard, and I'm working in inches. As I said, it's a 10 by 10 piece of card, but if you want to work in centimetres, it's 25.4 by 25.4 centimetres squared. Now in order to make your box for this particular size, I'm going to score along each side of this 10 by 10 piece of card at 3 inches. Now scored all the lines. Now for those of you that have made boxes before, I'm sure you all know that we're now going to cut into these 4 corner pieces in order to be able to fold our box up. But normally what you would do is cut along this score line and cut from the diagonal. I don't want to do that. I'm only going to cut from halfway down this square, and that's because it will just give the box a little bit of extra stability. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut all my corners so that you can see. So now we've cut all of our pieces out in order to be able to fold our box up and glue the insides. Now I would glue all the tabs onto the inside of the rectangular piece here. Again, it just means that you're not going to see any of the joins on the outside of the box. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to glue all those into place so that my box is made. So there we have our base box. Now you'll notice that I went inside and just using my scoring tool just pressed down onto the inside of the box, just so that I made sure that all the joins were perfectly glued together. So we're just going to pop that to one side for now while we make the flip over part of the box. You're going to need 2 pieces of card which measure 6 by 9 inches or 15.2 by 22.8 centimetres. They're both exactly the same. What we're going to do with these is we're going to score on the long side at 3 inches. And then we're going to join these two together along those 3-inch panels. So I'm going to put my glue on here, and then I'm just going to line up the other piece on the top. Now I would just say, when you're gluing these together, make sure that this piece that you're gluing onto this comes just this side of your score line, because if it goes over your score line, your box won't fold in properly. So you don't want to go over the score line when you're lining up your 2 pieces of card. So make sure that it goes just this side of the score line. And if you want to just make sure that you haven't gone over, lift the other piece of card so that you can see that it actually folds up properly. And then you've got the basis of your flip over part. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to decorate this flip over part of our box. Now, as I said, I'm using papers from Lisa's Festive box kit. Now, on my original box, you will notice that I used a ribbon fastening. And this is the point, if you're going to use ribbon, that you would add your ribbon to your box. So if you were adding ribbon, you would put your ribbon on the inside of the flip over part, glue it here, so that then your papers will go on the top. Don't forget to do that part, otherwise you won't be able to add your ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my papers. Now what I would suggest is that you've got 4 pieces here, and these measure 6 by 6, or in centimetres 15.2 squared centimetres. Now I'm adding the same to the top and the inside bottom, so that when you open it you see the same paper. And then on the other 2 I'm using a different paper, so that that will be on the inside and the outside bottom. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and add my papers. So there we've got your box flip over part decorated with your papers. Now you'll see that there is a panel here in the middle and the same on the back, which we're also going to add papers to. Now the papers that I've chosen for this are these beautiful Christmassy gingerbread reindeer papers, again from the box kit, and I'm using exactly the same papers on the inside and the outside of the box. These 2 pieces measure 6 by 3 inches, or 15.2 by 7.6 centimetres. So I'm just going to go ahead and add those to the 2 panels now. Right, so now that I've put my papers on my 2 panels, that's more or less my flip over part of the box completed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate my inner box. And again, I'm using papers from the box kit, and I've used the same papers as I've used here, and I've also used one of the ones with the script on. Now you'll need 8 pieces of 4 by 3, that's these, or 10.1 by 7.5 centimetres, and then 1 piece which is 4 by 4 squared, or 10.1 by 10.1 centimetres. Now this piece is going in the bottom of the box, so I would put my glue, I'll actually glue in the paper I think, because I think that's probably easier than the panels. And I think you'll find when you put in the panels of paper onto your box that actually putting the glue on the paper is going to be easier. Now decide the direction of your box and stick with it, because obviously you want it to be the right way up all the time. So place your paper in the bottom and then just give it a quick rub over just to make sure it's stuck. And then what we're going to do is we're going to decorate the inside and the outside with these papers. So I'm going to use alternate papers in here, like that. And I'm going to do exactly the same, but opposites on the outside of the box. So I'm just going to go ahead and add all my papers in. So there's your decorated box for inside your flip over part. Now you'll see I've alternated the papers, and then I've swapped them over and done opposite papers to what's on the inside on the outside. So now we're going to add the inner box to our flip over part. I'm not measuring this, I'm absolutely totally eyeballing it, because I think so long as it's more or less in the centre, there isn't going to be a problem. So I would be over generous with the glue on here because you don't want this box to fall off. So I'm putting plenty of glue on, and then I'm just going to, I want my reindeer at the front, my little gingerbread houses at the front, and then I'm literally eyeballing it to be in the middle, like that. I'm going to use my score tool, I'm just going to push it down, go all the way around, just to give it, make sure that it's adhering properly to the bottom of that box. So there, really, that's your box finished. Now then, as I said, I'm not using ribbon on this box. I'm actually going to use a belly band. Now all this is 2 strips of card. I've had to join it because obviously the box is too big. If you make a smaller box, then obviously you might get away with a piece of card that you don't have to join. But to be honest, I think once you've actually got it in place, nobody's going to look for the join anyway, so don't worry about that too much. Again, I've used contrasting card and papers from the box kit. And then this is where the bubble squares come in. I've cut a piece of glitter card, the really gold colour, and I've cut one of the smaller stitched squares to go on the top, and then I've stamped my sentiment. So this is going to go over, she said, hopefully, my box. And I'm just going to slide it over, put it up that way. I measured this on the other box, so I'm hoping it fits. It does. Excellent. So I'm just going to slide that over like that, and that will be my fastening for my box. And while that's in place, I'm actually going to place my poinsettias. Now, as I said, I've used the 3D embossing folder here, and I've cut out 3 pieces of card before I've started. So I've used my die and I've cut out the 3 flower shapes, and then I've put them back into my embossing folder, and what I do is put them face down in the deboss side, because you will find the place where they sit in position, and then run it through my machine with my embossing plates. Every machine is different. Please read your manufacturer's suggestions for what plates to use, but there is a file in the Lisa Horton Crafts Facebook group which will give you numerous different combinations of plates for different machines that you can try, but please, in the first instance, follow your manufacturer's instructions. So I've already cut my flowers. Now obviously I want to place these on my card, but I also don't want to glue them in a place that's going to affect my fastening, because the fastening is going to come on and off the box. So I've already given these a little bit of a bend. I just want them sort of a little bit shaped, just to give them a little bit of depth. And then I'm just going to place them on my box where I think they ought to go. And the decoration on this box is really quite simple. You could be as elaborate or simple as you wish. Obviously that's entirely up to you, it's personal choice. This poinsettia in mirror card, especially gold mirror card, I just think looks amazing. So I've cut 2 in red and embossed them, and I've cut 1 in gold, and I'm just going to pop that there. Now I'm going to use 3D glue to put them down. So I take that one off, and I'm going to do this one first, and I'm also going to bear in mind where my fastening is going to be sitting. So I'm only putting glue around this part of the flower. And there we go. That's our box completed with our fastening. But I think you'll agree it's a reasonably quick and easy box to put together, and it will make a really special gift look look absolutely extra special. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and remember to hit that little notification bell so that every time one of us updates our YouTube channel with another video, you won't miss out. So thanks very much for joining me today, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now.